Hello all, it's been a while. Yay, there's light! Let there be light! So anyways, I've been waiting to start trying to do video. I know I keep saying that, I'm going to do more videos and more videos, and I don't do it. So hopefully I really tried to make an effort. I'm going to try to make more of an effort to do more videos, because I really want to do more videos. Part of the problem is I'm just not coming up with anything to really come to talk about. So I'm going to go back to the old reliable and try this again and say, because I know everyone asks and people are like, hey, are you going to do it or are you not going to do it? So I figured since I can't come up with anything on a normal basis that I really want to talk about, because I don't like doing TV reviews, I really don't. I just don't feel right doing them. So instead, I'm just going to go back to the old reliable and bring back the Q&A for now, as long as I can get something that, questions that I like, I guess. That's always the caveat, isn't it? So anyways, for those of you, so basically message me on here, i.e. email me on YouTube. Don't put it in the comment section, I won't find it. Don't put it on my comment on my page, I won't find it. Actually send me, a little email message on YouTube. And if I like the question, if it's not something that's going to take an hour to answer, I will answer it. Hopefully, I don't know when I'll get to it. I'm going to give it a couple days so I can kind of get some good questions. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do tomorrow because I really do want to try to do, like, I don't know, more videos. But anyways, that's not what this video is about. No, not really. Anyways, this video, as I was trying to find something to talk about, I came across, well, didn't come across, I finally watched Foolkiller's video on, excuse me, on lockdown and on the last Impact. And he made a statement that I found odd, which was, because I hadn't seen Lockdown. I've watched some of the stuff with Storm and Rude on YouTube, but that's pretty much it. And I did think the build was good. I will say that, even though I didn't order it, even though I didn't see it. But I did think the last little interview they did was really, really, really good. But of course, we saw what happened with that. So, anyways, he was bringing up Lethal Lockdown, and he was talking about the fact that Lethal Lockdown is a very hard, his opinion, I guess, very hard thing to book. I disagree. I disagree entirely. Lethal Lockdown, i.e. War Games, is one of the simplest things in the world to book. It only becomes difficult when you allow it to become difficult. Now, what some of the stuff he brought up was the fact that it becomes a big schmooze fest. You have the weapons. You have, people are used to the dives, and that's the big dive, the big spot at the end of the show, or the end of the match. That's kind of TNA's own fault for continually trying to elevate that instead of just building it as a War Games without the big spot. As far as the schmooze fest, again, that's kind of TNA's own fault, only because you've got far too many guys. 5 guys for 1 ring is way too many. There's a reason why War Games was 2 rings with 5 guys. And then the weapons, they add this, that, and the other to it. Just more, just kind of plunder and more craziness to it. That all said, even if you add all of that to it, it's still an easy goddamn match to book. Now, I have not seen this year's Lockdown, so I'm simply going for what I've heard people say about this year's Lockdown and what I've read, and how Lethal Lockdown was booked, which, of course, was booked with Garrett Bischoff being the #1 guy and going through, getting the tar beat out of him the whole time until he finally came back and won the match. Okay. For the contents of the storyline, that's pretty good. And really, this probably is almost perfectly booked if it wasn't for one small thing, and that was that no one gives a shit about Garrett Bischoff. Just doesn't. That's the only problem. But War Games, but Lethal Lockdown, War Games, whatever you want to call it, is fairly simple to book. And this is how. You book it like so. You say, you have your faces, you have your heels, they're going to have their big confrontation. You start off with 1 face, you start off with 1 heel. The match goes on. Somehow, the heel, the bad guy, gets the advantage. He gets the advantage through whatever reason, and so the fans are like, "Oh my God!" When the coin flip happens, yay! You know, the faces need to, you know, go in and save their dude. Except the heels win. Heels always win the coin toss. Always should be. And then you have two heels against one guy, and they beat him up some more. And then by the time the second face comes in, really it's 1.5 guys versus 2. And you go through that through the entire thing, where in all likelihood the faces are really kind of down a guy because you got a guy hurt. They continually, you know, not, you know, they've been outnumbered, this, that, and the other. Of course, in today's wrestling world, where we continually see 1-on-2 matches and guys continually beat, you know, come out and beat both guys on 1-on-2 matches, or make it look easy, or it's not a fluky win and all that stuff, that does make it a little bit more difficult, not gonna lie. But this is fairly simple booking. You can end the match however you want, heels going over, faces going over, but the fact of the matter is, once you get all the guys in the ring, you've now built up, you've now got, you know, the fate, now you think the heels are going to get their comeuppance. If they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. But it's a fairly simple match to book. And that was just kind of my point. Yes, I know, odd thing. One other thing I wanted to talk about, I know, I'm talking about TNA, odd, isn't it? They're doing this, what is it, this tryout match thing that they're doing, where they're going to have guys come in, and if they win, they're going to get voted on, and this, that, and the other. I like this idea. I think it's an interesting idea to try to bring in guys, bring in some new, fresh talent. But the thing is, you need to bring in new, fresh talent and get rid of the old, stale talent. And that's one thing TNA just doesn't seem to want to do, is get rid of any talent. And I think at some point TNA has to start getting rid of talent, because they have guys who are just stale. They've been there. They haven't been used properly. They haven't been, you know, they've been damaged because of the way they've been used, and they need to go away for a while. You can bring them back later, but there's just, I mean, there's just far too many guys. The roster's far too big. I mean, this is a roster that probably has 60, I guess with the women, probably, what, about 60, 70 people on it. And I've said this time and time again, you know, this is a roster that, even with the women, probably should have 30, maybe 40 people on it. So, yeah. You know, you only have so much airtime to devote to on-air talent, and there's no reason, even if you're paying, even if you're only paying guys per appearance, there's really no reason to have that. But I do like this idea. Hopefully we get to see some interesting and new talent. El Generico might be a good thing. That's something else I'd like you guys to kind of comment on, I guess. Who would you like them to see him bring in? And make it realistic, please. But yeah, who were some people you'd like to see TNA come in for these tryout matches? Like I said, I'd like to see El Generico be brought in. I'd also like to see a guy like Prince Devitt. I don't know how reasonable that is. Or a guy like Kenny Omega. I'd like to see a guy like Kenny Omega be brought in as well. So those 3 guys for me. But anyways, I just wanted to come on here. As I said, just kind of, I was trying to think of something to do. That was something to do. I do want to try to get back to doing videos on a normal basis, because when I don't do them on a normal basis, I feel like, you know, it just compounds things, and then I don't do them. So, but anyways, like I said, if you guys have any questions you want me to answer, wrestling related, please, by all means, send me a message. If I like the question, I will answer it. And I'd say next couple days I'll probably do that. So with that, I'm out. Have a good one. Later.